Hello everybody and welcome to Dot to Dot. Today I'm going to talk in this video about the deep voids that are found. Well, first one was found in C1 in 2016, and the other one was the recent deep void that was found at L15 on the grid. And it's very interesting how they may correspond to the OnTR schematic and the flood system that we have proposed in the vault theory. So let's go to Google Earth, and here's the new grid that I've overlaid on Oak Island. It's oriented to north and south. Each square is 5 by 5, and the register is the Heddon and the Chapel shaft in accordance with the 1937 survey. So here we have C1. Now this is the Charles Barkhouse hole that was drilled in 2016 in September 14th, and it went to a depth of 194 feet, and the cavity started at 171 feet. Now the last episode, I think it's called Drilling Down, where it's sort of a sideshow for the Oak Island, Curse of Oak Island show, and they just had a show on the Money Pit area, and they went and put a video camera down C1, and they gave a lot of information. And on that video, you can see that C1 actually opens up into a tunnel, and perhaps a tunnel. And the other interesting thing about C1 is it is salt water, so it is connected to the ocean somehow. Now, another thing that I'm going to show you is I have this flood tunnel line here. Now, this one goes out to the finger drains here. And one of the reasons why I have it lined up this way is because of another hole that was drilled, I think it was last year or a year back, a couple years back, which was FT2, Flood Tunnel System 2. And you can see this was done in 2021, so it was last year. And this, I believe, is the water pattern that was coming out of the ground for the drilling of that hole. So one of the things that I want to talk about is the OnTR schematic. Now this is a piece of documentation, and here I got the original. This is the original OnTR schematic, and it is made of 7 pieces, but actually 8 because one is torn right here. And it's mentioned in Bill Jackson's note that is in the back of the Introduction of Anthropology, where he states that the Frenchman was right. They were after the information of the flood tunnel system. So, and then he says that I have 4. Where are the others? Where's the other 4? So this is that note that Bill Jackson left was alluding to this schematic, to this drawing, which shows the flood tunnel, or actually the hydraulic system for the vault that lifts the vault. And this is basically how it appears originally. Now we've redrawn this. I've redrawn it. I think somebody redrew this. Either Don Rue or Olivier redrew this, and I've flipped it to where now it is oriented to the east and west. Now, since this is a side view, we don't know if this is south or this is north. We know it's up and down, but we don't know if this is going south or north or what direction. And another thing about the OnTR schematic is it's not really to scale. According to La Formula, from this point where you enter, which is what we call the 522 entrance, it's supposed to be 522 pi, and this is called La Hampe. And this is where you shut off the flood waters to the system so that the vault can lower and you can enter through this entrance here. So this is the OnTR schematic. And if we take this line, here's L15, the most recent one, and we take C1 and we draw a line, and the distance between here is 70 feet, and we put in the flood tunnel that we think is matching the OnTR schematic. In other words, going from the money pit to La Hamp, it goes right there. See, here's La Hamp, and here is basically the historical money pit would be right in this area right here. So it's very close, and the reasoning behind this would be that the south flood tunnel right here. Now this south flood tunnel was found in I think in the 1800s, 1893, sometime by the Oak Island Treasure Company. They pumped water, muddy water, and dye into this into the money pit area, one of the shafts that they had, and it came out in the south beach. Now where, it doesn't say, but it's interesting. It ends up in this big deep pit here, right here. So another question I'm asked about is the reference between where the oak entrance is for the vault theory and the money pit area, and here it is right here. You can see that they're pretty much a great distance apart, and it's interesting that on the Onteora schematic, that if this is the money pit, of course, and this is the 90-foot stone here at 90 feet, it doesn't really show you that you actually break into the money pit. So the oak entrance, which would be A, doesn't necessarily have to be the money pit. This could have been just a service shaft, and why they would put the 90-foot stone there, I don't know. But this is basically not necessarily the oak entrance, and they could be totally two separate points. So the fact is that this C1 is at 170 feet, and it goes, the void is about 20 feet deep, and L15 is 146 feet, and it's only 4 feet deep, but it goes to 150 feet. When you look at the OnTR schematic, notice that if this is 90 feet, okay, then this is going to be at least, well, you can see not all the tiers are shown here. This is going to be 60, you know, this is going to be roughly about 170 feet, I would say. If you go from here to here, that's 90 plus 30, 120. So yeah, right around 150 to 160 feet would be this tunnel. So it's not very certain, but it's could be likely that these 2 points are connected, and that at one time they were a tunnel. Now remember too that there's been a lot of activity. These flood tunnel systems, which I believe this could be where the water is flooded in, and I've also proposed that these also are basically relief valves or drain valves from a greater system, which let's see if I have, which gets its water source from up here. And I've stated this in other videos, but this could, you know, this doesn't necessarily, there's no reason why, there's nothing that would state that this would be true. So the only thing we know is that the flood tunnel system connects to Lahomp, which is C. And this is why this line here, if we assume that it is a straight line tunnel, goes to Lahomp. So this is what I'm thinking that it could be that this, if this is oriented south, then this could be where this flood system or this hydraulic system gets its water, and that this one right here is possibly a relief valve. The finger drains are just a relief valve here. So this is what I have. It's interesting. We'll have to wait and see more of what they discover on the show. It's got me excited about their exploration on Oak Island, and very, very interesting. So if you like this video, like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.